Hello there. Welcome to our episode today on the Medicine Tech Podcast. My name is Gabriel Oke, and today, as always, I have another amazing guest with me.
Hi, my name is Faith Adiola Murebishe. I'm a medical laboratory scientist and a software engineer. I had my degree, Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Science at Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. And currently, I work as a software developer. That's what I do at the moment.
Okay. Where do you work, like in terms of software development? What kind of companies have you worked with in terms of industry? How many years of experience so far in that field?
Okay, so in that field, currently I do freelance. But I've worked in health tech, I've worked in fintech too, fintech industries. And years of experience, generally, I think about 3 years, but as a software developer, 2 years.
All right, good.
Yeah,
You still tell us a little bit about products you've worked on and all that.
definitely.
When did you decide to switch, like, or to add text what you were doing? Because I think I read your bio and you are a medical laboratory scientist, and then I think maybe you just woke up one day or maybe you read something like, how did it come about for you, And then you feel like, okay, because I know MedLab is big on itself, like it's
Yeah,
very
definitely.
voluminous. You've got to read clinical posting and the like. So how did it come about for you?
Okay, for me, well, right from time, I've been passionate about healthcare. But the turning point was in 2020. It was during the lockdown. So I was at home, there was no school activities. I think then I was in 300 level. So there was no school activity. And then I was learning how to make bags and leather works. And that year, in celebration of National Youth Day, the federal government had organized a national hackathon for innovative solutions in all sectors. So I saw the flyer and then I shared it with a friend who was a developer. And then, we came together. I brought an idea, a health tech idea, and we worked on the project MedCode. That's like solving the difficulty of accessing medical records seamlessly and keeping up with doctor's appointments. So in less than a month, the idea was live. I mean, that experience was really intriguing for me. Like how an idea went from just being an idea that was discussed into something that I could interact with, I could share with my friends and families. And I mean, that really piqued my interest in tech. So that was how I became really interested in tech.
All right, so that sounds very interesting. So from there, how did you channel yourself? Did you go to a boot camp? Did you learn on using YouTube? How did you become an expert?
Okay, yeah, from there, I did not really channel into software development exactly. After COVID, we resumed back to school and I got buried in my academics again. But 2021, I got really interested in data. So I started with data analysis
Mhm.
and I was just trying to, check data flow, analyze data, visualize them. I remember then I would go to NCDC, COVID had finished. So I would go into NCDC, get data sets, just analyze. And that was it for me, just trying out analysis of data. And then at some point in 2022, I was just thinking, and with my experience in medical laboratory science, I just felt like we could actually build solutions to some of the problems that we have in health sector. So, and then I thought with a conversation with a friend, and I'm like, wow, I can actually do this. So that was what kickstarted my journey into software development. And my first course was on Coursera. I was still using my student email, so I had access to a free course on Coursera then. And then from there, I started with YouTube videos, tutorials, and I joined some community too, communities that actually helped my journey in software development. So that's my career progression.
So yeah, what are the kind of tools you use? Is it just Python? What are the kind of tools you use? And then let's hear about some interesting products you've built so far. Like the products you've built, I feel like I'm so proud of myself to be on this project or to lead this project or to just be part of this project.
Okay, yeah. So the tools that I use in software development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, um, some other like I got a certification recently on Google Cloud, so I could like and all of that. Some of the products that I've worked on, I think for me, my first experience, that first project that I worked on is still one of my best projects because I was so actively in the project. And being the medic in the team, I was really involved. And that's like creating a product where we can seamlessly make medical records available. So we have doctor's dashboard and also the patient's dashboard where patients can also like see some of their medical records. And what actually bettered that idea was one of my experiences about changing hospitals, and then you have to like start telling them some of your medical history and all of that. So I just thought, oh, how about we have a platform or an application where all of these can actually be available and accessible. So that's still one of the best projects that I've worked on. Aside that, I've worked on some other projects ranging from the health tech and even in fintech.
We had one in the health tech, so give us one in the fintech as well.
Okay, recently I worked on a product that makes um, financial management really simplified. So not going into more details, but the application does literally everything you want to do with your finances in terms of savings, in terms of investments, and even many more. So we have that in that application, and I was part of the team that actually like built the project.
That's so good. So that means you have extensive product development experience. So, how will you describe your ability to work with people? I mean, this is not an interview, but I know working in in a multidisciplinary setting where you've got to work with a project manager, you've got to work with software developers like you, you've got to work with the product lead, and then maybe the company management as well, and then maybe you have to maybe pilot with some maybe be testers or something. I mean, it's a whole lot of communication and interdisciplinary skills are always required. So, how would you describe your experience so far working with people in your on your journey so far?
Okay, yeah, thank you. Well, working with people, I believe that in working with people, one of the major tools for me is communication. I mean, effective communication. And one thing, like, there's a way you can communicate, and everybody is in line with what you're saying. So one thing that I've been able to pick and that has been helpful in my journey is effective communication regarding maybe a teammate or even a client, effective communicating with them, the goals and everything that I am doing and I want to achieve. I just believe with effective communication, we can achieve a lot. So that's one of my major tools.
Okay, to bring it to life, can you give us an example of when maybe something was falling apart or something that you so that we can get to have a feel of the communication you just talked about? Like, let's say maybe the
Okay.
product was going out of hand or something.
Yeah, right. Let me think of a scenario. An example, maybe like as a developer, I'm developing and the designer thinks that we're having different perspective about the design because I believe that every project that I'm working on is not just about myself, it's about the user. And so me trying to explain where I'm coming from, oh, what is the best interest of the user in all of this? Communicating that effectively, like, okay, this is what the user tends to gain. This is why we are coming together to design this. So just trying to make him or her understand that this is not just about us, it's about the user. So communicating that actually like I remember I had that kind of an experience where myself and the designer were not in sync in terms of the design, but we're able to like fully trash that out with effective communication. Everybody saying, "Oh, this is what the user actually like will experience. This will be the user's experience," and we're able to come to middle ground, and that was resolved. So I think that's the best scenario I can come up with now.
Okay, so thank you so much. I think that has covered the communication part I wanted that you share about. So now, in terms of the most successful project you've worked on, can you give us an example of a project you've worked on and why you think the project is really successful? Like so far, maybe in terms of numbers of users, in terms of it can even be in terms of the money you get from it, like in terms of success so far. Because I know, I mean, there's money in software development. I know you
Yeah,
even pay me for, may even pay me for this interview, who knows?
so
So go ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of successful projects, I've worked on quite a number of successful projects. I remember there was a project we worked on that was Falcon Wise. It was a fintech project, and we had quite a number of users. I don't really have the figures right now, but it's actually scaled at
Mhm.
that period, right? So quite a number of successful projects.
Okay. In terms
Yeah.
of financial rewards as well, which project has given you, you may not give us the amount because I know you don't want to tell us, but
Okay.
in terms of return, which project do you say, oh, this one, I really made a lot as a developer from it?
Okay. I think I'll just go back to the first project I ever worked
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Yeah. That actually gave us, apart from the money we got from it, because we're one of the top 10 solutions, we also got an amount of money.
Mm,
So that was like my first exposure to tech and getting that money. And also, we got a national award by the president. So
mm.
that's one of my best experience and
I think you should
moments.
share more about that since you even got an award, and that is one of, I mean, I'm not saying the money, but tell us more
Okay.
about that because that is a very big thing. Because sometimes, especially when you're starting out and you make huge success, you've tested it, like this is money, this is a product, precedent. So share more about that. I feel like you should share more about that. That's a very unique experience.
Okay, so my experience on the project, like I said, it was just an idea that I thought about with
Mm,
my experience working in healthcare
mm,
and sharing the idea with this friend.
mm,
So we gathered a team and then we kickstarted the project. And the experience for me was because it was my first time
mm,
getting into something like that. In fact, having to manage the project as a
mm,
project manager, I didn't have the experience of managing a project before, but just being involved in that and being there all the step of the way. Oh, because I had eyes for colors and all of that too. So I mean, deciding on, oh, let's go for this color and all of that, like every tiny details, just having an input in the project and that project eventually being successful and getting such an award and recognition for it was a good experience for me.
Okay, so were you invited to Abuja? Was it how
Yeah,
many
yeah, yeah,
days was
yeah.
it like? Was it like an
Oh, so it
hackathon?
was, we were invited to Abuja, although we were represented by the team lead.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't able to go because
Mm,
there was still a little bit of lockdown.
okay.
So our team lead got the award for us and every other
That's so good.
thing.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
so good. That means you had a head start to your tech career. Really good. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And yeah, there's this comedian that said something that if God wants us to start the whole thing again and everybody should change their destiny, that will pick someone else's destiny. So now let's say your sister, I like that joke. If you had to start again all over, what would you have done differently?
What would I have done differently? I think I would have started earlier.
Okay.
That's one. And then I would have gotten a mentor, really,
Hmm.
because me starting without a full clarity of what I really wanted. I mentioned that when I started with data analysis, and it was just me trying to figure out my establishment in tech. So if I had a mentor, if I had someone that, had helped me navigate what I really wanted or had, shed more light on the career prospect and everything in tech, maybe I would have actually like had clarity on starting. So that's one thing I still tell people that if you want to start, ensure that not necessarily someone, but ensure that you have all the information about where you are headed.
Hmm.
So that's one of those things that I would have actually loved to if I had the opportunity to start all over.
Okay. I think mentorship is good. I feel like most of the time too, no matter the mentorship, it's still a lot of self-assignment because it's tough. Like
Yes,
a lot of,
definitely.
but just the direction. Yeah, I think in terms
Yeah,
of
you get the
direction,
clarity and direction. Yeah.
yeah, in terms of direction and maybe recommendation as well. But you've got to
Yes.
do the work. Like
Yeah. The work,
you've got to do the
definitely.
work. So how was it
Yeah.
like learning itself? Like how was your learning journey? Let me even get to how were you able to
Yeah.
manage? Was it because of COVID there was no school or how was it?
I
How,
started after COVID. I started after
okay,
COVID.
so I was able to manage it with
It
you.
was it was actually tough, to be honest, because for me, it felt like I was coming from a different world into another world.
Yeah,
So it was something easy. But what kept me going was why I wanted this. Like my
money.
first reason is it wasn't the money. It was part of it though. It was part of it, but what kickstarted the interest was how that an idea can actually come alive, how that an idea can solve solutions, and how I wanted to build solutions. So that was one of the things, and then the money and all that stuff. So and that was what kept me going on days where I got really frustrated, on days where I was dealing with bugs and errors. Knowing the reason why I started actually kept me going. And then knowing that I'm not the only one struggling as a beginner actually helped me. Hearing people that have gone ahead talked about their stories, how they started, and where they are right now actually also helped my learning. So
Mm.
those are some of the things that helped me when I started.
Yeah, yeah, money is important because especially as a young person in a country like Nigeria, where you've got to do a lot
Yeah.
to self. I mean, when I had the salary my friends who were in tech then were collecting too or more, I was shocked. I was like, I could not sleep that night. To be fair, like I was like, how on earth are young
Someone
people
else
like me
is
making this kind
first.
of money? And I'm here
Yeah.
doing this, doing that. So it's a good motivation. It
Yeah.
puts you in a very good place. I mean, you can now do other things you want. You can enjoy your life. You can even do other things you want to do with your life. Really good. Um, so now let's talk about you know, let's just give advice to people who want to come into this kind of field. There's a lot of distractions now, like social media, everyone trying to post this, post that, which is good. We're going to post this one as well. But in terms of focus and, and making decisions, especially making the right decisions, what would be your advice to someone who is just starting out? Like, okay, well, just starting out. Let's say you're in 300 level in uni, you're studying maybe medical science, or you're studying geography, you are studying this, you're studying that. You don't even have a clue what is in front. You're still collecting money from home, you
Yeah.
know, and then you see a lot of your friends are doing other things, maybe are learning something, and but you're interested in tech. What would be
Mm.
your advice if you had to sit someone down and say, okay, oh yeah, sit down, hold your ears at this
Okay.
point?
Well,
What would
if
be
I would advise anyone, someone, a beginner or someone already in the system that is having issues, I think one of my advice would be that knowing your why again, and standing by it, why you wanted this, like why you really want to do this, and keeping up to that why. And then another thing is commitment. Honestly, if you're going to thrive in tech, if even in anything, you have to be committed and dedicated to it. And that's one of the things that I picked from my MLS journey. You know how a course will be a bit difficult and you have to like sort out for materials for that particular course just because you want to pass it. I actually had to carry those attitude, personal habits into learning. So when I feel like something is really difficult, I go and like, okay, can I get one more course to explain this? Can I do this? Can I go to an extreme level in learning? So being dedicated and just committed and staying focused on your why. Those are some of the things that you can really like hold on to in this your journey in tech. And I mean, you definitely be successful. One thing I remind myself is there are quite a number of people that I read about that I know that I've actually made it in tech. So I definitely can make it too. So I push with that in mind.
okay, really good. Thank you for that. So now let's say, I mean, you work on projects, you initiate projects I mean, by yourself. Share your bio, I mean, your LinkedIn connection, email or something, how you want people to connect with you and what kind of project people can connect, and share with you things you would love to work with people on. And if probably you have some other things you want people to know, we don't know where this podcast will go, maybe they should invest in you, who knows? So yeah, just talk to your people
Right.
who may be watching this.
Okay. So I'm very active on LinkedIn. Morebise Faith Adiola, that's the name. I'm very active on LinkedIn. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I share my journey, I
Mm,
share posts on software development and my journey in tech generally. And
mm,
then I am available to work on projects, like I said, on health tech products that can solve problems, innovative
mm,
solutions,
mm,
problems of the health sector.
mm,
And then where I see myself build one of the biggest health tech products that will scale in
yeah, yeah,
Nigeria,
yeah,
Africa, and even across the world.
man,
So
yeah.
I'm open to collaborations.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we can even because I'm working on some projects as well. We can discuss more on that. To be fair,
Yeah,
like it's a really big it's a really big ocean. Like it's a big ocean.
they have a
It's
lot.
just like talking about AI. We've not even collected data. We've not put data together. Like
Yeah,
so
that's the thing. And in fact,
it's a big
data is one of the problems that we
yeah.
are still
So
like having in
there's
the
there's
health
room
tech.
for everyone to thrive in Africa. If it just takes a lot of work, but trust
Yeah,
me, yeah, I always tell people you can't run out of solutions because there's a lot of problems. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
definitely.
yeah. Thank you so much. We can continue conversation on LinkedIn because I have my account number, as I said. Not just kidding. Well, yeah, it's so good to
Um,
talk to you. Thank you so much for your
thank
time,
you.
and maybe until next time, it will be good to talk to you again in the future. So until next time, listeners, you know, wherever you're watching us from, I remain Gabriel, okay, and I've learned a lot myself, and I'm sure you've picked one or two things, and maybe you can share this with, maybe your colleagues, your friends who are coming in tech. So it's a good episode, and I enjoyed myself as well. So until next time, bye for now.
Hi,
Thank you,
thank
Faith.
you.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye.